Alright, Victorum gaming fans and Victory at Sea fans, we are back and we got another unboxing. We are looking at the Kriegsmarine fleet today for you guys. So we will be right back after we get everything opened up for you, and then we'll take a look at what we have for the Germans here. Alright guys, we got everything open for you. So what do we get inside? There's a whole lot in this box. So assembly guide for everything in here. So Hipper, Eugen, the destroyers, Königsberg and Scharnhorst, and the Krone. We get our usual damage sliders. Again, we're probably just going to stick with like D10s to represent that. 4 sets of Stuka flight bases, so people were wondering what those looked like. So, and then the 4 planes, oops. The 4 planes that will go on top of it. So, kind of like that. The usual Warlord working with resin guide. All the metal bits for all the different ships and everything. Destroyers are basically one piece, so there's nothing to do on those. Speaking of destroyers, so you get 3 of these bad boys, the Type 36A. You got the torpedoes on there as well, so really good details. Oh, actually there might be a spot for a little metal bit on here, actually, to help with the bridge and stuff. But yeah, Type 36A, really good stuff, 3 of those. Then we'll kind of go from smallest to largest here. So we get a Königsberg, and this one's kind of in a slightly different colored resin. Like the details just don't seem as crisp on the sides here. But anyway, so this is the Königsberg 1940 here for you guys. And again, it's kind of hard to read because, again, like I said, the details seem to get faded on this one, but the Königsberg class, so ship of the class there. And then we have the Köln 1941. Again, and a really interesting story with these ships is they had sort of an offset rear turret arrangement, which was really just interesting idea there. And then also part of the Königsberg class. So you get 2 of these basically light cruisers. Then we get 3 heavy cruisers of the Admiral Hipper class, starting with the Hipper itself. So 1939, and these are pretty chunky as well. So not quite as long as like the Bismarck or anything, but and certainly not as wide. But still a big chunky model that you'll get to move around the table. So, and again, this is the Hipper class, so heavy cruisers for the Germans. So we get the Hipper itself, of course, lead ship of the class. Oops, making a mess here. This is the Prince Eugen. Again, really famous story with that. And again, more of the Hipper class. And then we get the Blücher. So another bad boy here. So 3 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers in here. So 3 of the Hipper class. And then to round things out, we get a kind of pocket battleship here, the Scharnhorst itself. So, and just size comparison here. So basically, exactly the same base, just Scharnhorst is a little bit longer and certainly much wider than the cruisers. And again, yeah, Scharnhorst and Scharnhorst class. So the only other one is the Gneisenau, which hopefully we'll get at some point as well, as a specific model, or just a separate release. We'll see what they do. But that basically rounds out all the models that you guys get. And then the last thing, certainly not least, are basically this big old stack of stat cards that go with it. So Scharnhorst itself is 425 points to start with. Turrets that initially are actually longer range than the Bismarck, so it's kind of interesting there. Solid damage and all that stuff. Don't quite pen as much as the bigger guns, though. Some 2 sets of light guns as well, and then the AA battery there. Speed 6 and 74 hull to start with aircraft 3, armor deck, radar, and torpedo belt 3. And then flipping it over, we get the various refits. So again, just the 2 ships in the class, some Gneisenau refits, Scharnhorst there as well. So definitely probably want to play the 42 version just to get the torps in there as well. And then a projected, although never completed refit, basically where the turrets, the range comes down a little bit, but then and you're throwing fewer attack dice, but the guns actually hit a little bit harder because they got upgraded to 15 inchers versus the 11-inch ones from before. So really good stuff there. That's with our heavy. Next in the stack was the Königsberg class. So hull-wise, not Not going to take that much damage, so just a light cruiser, but certainly might be worth paying 5 extra points just to get a couple more hull points. And you can also remove its aircraft. Packing 3 turrets still with the 5.9 guns. They have the fast track rule, which is really cool. It's definitely useful for hunting down fast movers and destroyers especially. And then basically comes with 2 sets of torpedoes on each side, so almost a destroyer in its own right. And then basically, there's Königsberg, Karlsruhe, and Köln. So at some point, hopefully, we'll see the Karlsruhe. Refits there, so basically all Köln refits, but just adding, typically it's mostly adding more AA and various things as well. And you can also remove 1 set of torps, but you get radar, and that actually still saves you points. So lots of interesting little paths to go there. So another Königsberg one here. And should just be the same on the back if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we got that. All right, the Type 36As coming in at 60 points, speed 7, only 7 hull. So again, destroyers are not going to take much damage, but they're harder to hit. Let's see here, 4 5.9-inch guns. Still reach out to a decent range too. Just really not going to pen much though. A little bit of AA ability, and then obviously 2 sets of torpedoes here, so good stuff there. It's got radar and sub hunter as well, so obviously we'll hopefully see subs at some point. That'll be a nice addition to the game. And then various refits here, which add all kinds of extra goodies, so definitely gives you some options there. So definitely going to be worth picking up some more of those beyond just the 3 that we get here, certainly. So we got that, another one. So basically you get 1 card per ship, which is also very nice, so you have to figure out which ship is what. Then we get to the Hipper classes, so 38 hull there, if we upgrade it, 36 normally. Comes with the Aircraft 3, Radar, and Sub Hunter Standard for 200 points. It's got 4 8-inch turrets which reach out pretty far. No AP bonus on them, sadly, though. Looks like a weird typo on these two. I'm not sure. We'll go back and check. I don't think there's a trait that's just called W, so somebody forgot to do some proofreading before this went to the publisher. Light guns, AA, and it's got 4 sets of torps again as well. So a lot of these German cruisers are just packed and loaded with torpedoes more so than pretty much most destroyers. So getting close is going to be a dangerous proposition for a lot of players. So if you can time your torpedo shots right, a little nasty surprise waiting for people. Then basically 2 more Hipper cards, and we'll just take a look at the backside of the last one. So, let's see here. So we had Hipper, Blücher, and Eugen. So really we get the whole class and the starter here, so it's nice. So you really won't have to, really can't, I guess, technically buy more of these. And then, let's see, refits. So we got Hipper and Eugen. And doesn't look like Blücher ever got any refits, apparently. But, again, typically the most common German refit here is just adding more and more to the AA battery, but sometimes also getting more radar and stuff like that as well. So, overall, that's a quick tour through the German starter fleet, the Kriegsmarine starter fleet. We will be doing some extra videos on the ships sort of individually, or the classes individually, and kind of breaking those down and seeing what they do now that the full game is released, whereas before we just had the stuff from the demo box. So now we can kind of get a better idea of where things are going to go with the various fleets and stuff like that, specifically the Germans. And hopefully at some point, in the full rulebook, the German fleet here, the Kriegsmarine, also gets like some actual national rules, because the book that we get in the Victory at Sea Starter is just that same booklet from the demo kit, and again, there's no German special rules, which is sadly disappointing. So hopefully it's not too long before we get sort of more rules to give the Germans a little bit of something there. But that will be something for later on, and obviously hopefully we see some more plain varieties down the road too. So that is everything you get here, guys. It's a whole lot of stuff. Definitely well worth it. Whatever fleet you're planning on starting on, just pick up whatever starter that you're going for whatever nation. You're going to get a whole lot of stuff here. So, and then, factoring in this with the Bismarck, which is also out already, throw that in the picture here too. So that's already rounding out a pretty nasty and sizable fleet. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed our little look here. Again, this is the Kriegsmarine starter fleet, and if you could, drop us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and then we will see you in the next one.